Hello everybody, today I'm just going over the answers to the simplifying radicals with variables. So looking at this very first one, remember if we are dealing with radicals, that means we want to have the same thing under the radical. Well, it looks like here I have 5, I have 5 and 5 again right here. Those would be the same thing. So that means that I can just put together So that means that we can add together whatever's out in the front. Well, it looks like out in the front I have a -3 and a -3. So what is -3 minus 3? That is -6 radical 5. So again, this is a review from before. Okay, for the second problem, looking at this again, what is under the radical? We have a 2 and a 2. So that means that I can just put together whatever is out in the front. So we have a -2 and a -2. So -2 minus 2 gives me -4. And then the radical 2 just stays the same. Next problem. Okay, this one we have more than two things. So let's just look at everything that's under the radical. We have a 27, we have a 2, and we have a 3. Okay, 27, I know I can split up somehow. So let's go ahead and try that out. I have 27, so this one I could do 3 and 9. And I could split it up and say 3 and 3. I have a pair of 3's and then 1 3 left over. So for this first one right here, we're going to have negative, and then because I have those two circled, 3 radical, and then what's under the square root? That 3, because that was in a box, plus 3 radical 2 minus 2 radical 3. Okay, radical 2 I can't break up anymore. Radical 3 I can't break up anymore. So let's go ahead and just put together the things that look the same. Well, to me it looks like I could put together this part and this part. So let's go ahead and try that out. So -3 minus 2, that is -5 radical 3. And then I'm still left over with this part that's in the middle. So I'm going to put plus 3 radical 2. So that is my final answer. For 4, again, we're just going to split up these things. So we have 54. We're going to make a tree. So we have 2 and 27, and then 27 we can do 3 and 9, and then 3 and 3. So I have a pair of 3's, and then I have a 2 and a 3 left over. For 27, well, we already did that over on the left side, so we have 3 and 9, 3 and 3. So I have a pair of 3's and a 3 left over. So let's go ahead and figure this out. Well, the 6, can I break up 6 anymore? 6 is just 2 and 3, so no, I can't. So we're going to copy down that. So we have 2 radical 6 plus 2 times the 3 that's on the inside right there. Radical 2 times 3 again, plus 3 times 3 radical 3. So one more time, these 3's went right here, and then this 3 went right here on the inside. The very first 3, so this one right here, came from right there. Okay, so what can I actually put together? Well, let's just simplify this a little bit. So we have 2 radical 6 plus 2 times 3 is 6 radical 6 plus 3 times 3 is 9 radical 3. So that tells me that I'm going to have, well, I can put together the 2 radical 6's. So 2 plus 6 is 8 radical 6 plus 9 radical 3. That is what we were looking for. Okay, number 5. Well, looking at this, thinking about it, we're not allowed to divide by a radical, right? So let's go ahead and get that out of here. So we're going to multiply the top and the bottom by radical 3 plus 4, radical 3 plus 4. So I have 4 radical 3, because I'm just multiplying this to both of these, plus 16 over radical 3 times radical 3 is going to give me radical 9 plus 4 radical 3 minus 4 radical 3. Because think about it, 1, 2, 3, 4 minus 16. So now let's simplify this out. We're going to have 4 radical 3 plus 16 over, well, radical 9 is just 3. These 4's cancel out because plus 4 radical 3 minus 4 radical 3, those are the same thing, minus 16. So that means we're going to have 4 radical 3 plus 16 over negative 13. I can accept that answer. That one's fine. Okay, next one. Same exact thing again. We're going to multiply the top and the bottom by the opposite of whatever sign's on the bottom. So we have 5 plus 5 radical 3, 5 plus 5 radical 3. So let's go ahead and multiply this out. So this 5 is going to both of those. So we have 25 plus 25 radical 3 over 5 times 5 is 25, 5 times 5. If you want, guys, you can do a square like this and just say, okay, I have 5 minus 5 radical 3, 5 plus 5 radical 3. This is going to give you the same answer, so that's 25. That's minus 25 radical 3. That is positive 25 radical 3. And that is negative 25 radical 9. Okay, so that gives me 25 minus, what is 25 times 3? 75. So that tells me that I have 25 plus 25 radical 3 over 25 minus 75 gives me 50. And then we can simplify this down, and 25, both these 25s go into 50, so that gives me 1 plus radical 3 over 2.